This is Straight Talk Minneapolis, and I'm Joe Hessla. In the last video, we heard about upzoning. Upzoning is a strategy to increase the amount of housing in Minneapolis. It would allow investors to convert single-family homes into triplexes. Although density would be increased, we have no guarantee that the new units produced would be offered at an affordable rate. And if they're not, this will do nothing to alleviate the intense housing crisis we have here in Minneapolis. Another strategy pushed by City Hall is inclusionary zoning. This would require new construction in Minneapolis to include a certain percentage of affordable units. At this point in time, the three options considered range from 4% affordable to 20% affordable housing units. It is reported that people like developer Steve Min and Steve Kramer, president of the Downtown Council, believe that this strategy will scare investors away from Minneapolis. But there's another way to look at this. Maybe 20% affordable housing does not show a serious enough commitment to the gravity of our situation here in Minneapolis. If you have a $50,000 household income, you can afford to rent only 14% of the apartments on the market. And if you're a family of four and have a $30,000 household income, there is nothing to rent in the city. Cost-burdened residents pay more than 30% of their income for housing. 56% of African American renting households are cost-burdened, and 51% of Native American, Latinx, and Asian American households are cost-burdened. The city is already unaffordable. Maybe we need to move away from housing being a speculative part of the profit system. Maybe we need a world and city where housing is a human right. Maybe it's time for rent control. Our system is broken. Housing should be a human right, but instead it is a commodity that people make huge profits from. People have a right to a place to live. Perhaps if housing was owned publicly or owned cooperatively, we could give people the affordable housing they need with dignity and security instead of living at the whim of the greedy, aggressive housing market. The voice of developers has long been loud in the ears of our city leaders, and this housing crisis is what we have as a result. What do you think? Is 20% affordable housing a high enough percentage for new housing constructed? What is the future way we can do housing here? At the current rate, we will continue to hemorrhage Minneapolis residents who no longer can afford to live here. Developers are not solving our problems. Perhaps a public housing solution with incentives for cooperative housing is needed. Our future is being decided. You need to make your voice heard. Please call your city council rep.